Hey there, speculators. It is Roderick, and I trade futures for a living along with my trusty sidekick, Dodger the Corgi. And tonight's video, I want to talk a little bit about how you can take advantage of tech earnings without ever trading actually a tech stock. But before I get going, I want to remind everybody that this video is for educational purposes, and you can pause it right here to learn more about the risk disclosures and disclaimers associated with the type of trading that I do. Okay, great. We are right in the middle of earnings seasons right now, and today was a kind of a unique day. I don't remember this happening when we had three kind of big names reporting all on the same day: Facebook, Tesla, and Microsoft, Mr. Softy, and we also could throw in PayPal if that's a bit of a financial tech stock as well. And as is expected and usually happens, it was random price action in both directions. In fact, look at the chart of Tesla. Whoa, up $60, $65 in the aftermarkets. But again, how do you actually trade tech earnings if you're looking to trade the stocks? Well, to my knowledge, I've been doing this a while, there's only really two ways you could do it. You could be long or short the stock going into earnings, the actual equity, or you could play some sort of an options play. But in both cases, with few exceptions, yes, there's after-hour trading in these equities, but it's pretty much the deep end of the pool, and these are very expensive stocks. Tesla's now over $600, well over $600. Microsoft is over, I don't know, $170 as of today, and Facebook well over $200, okay? So these are very expensive stocks. It's not very easy to trade them once the earnings are reported. All you can do is wait till the next day and buy or sell your stock, or wait till the next day and hope the options play that you put together worked out. Nothing wrong with either of those, but what I'm going to show you in just a moment is how you can participate right as the earnings come out by trading the NASDAQ futures. The NASDAQ futures are going to continue to trade right when those earnings come out. They're very liquid, it's easy to do, and I'm going to show you in this video how you can actually do it with a very small instrument called a micro NASDAQ futures contract. Even if you've never heard of this before, you're going to see in just a moment how this all works. And what I actually did is in about 10 minutes, I made about $50 or $60. Doesn't sound like very much, but again, that was in 10 minutes. $50 or $60 in 10 minutes is a pretty good hourly wage. And I did so with very little risk on the downside. And again, I never had to buy these big expensive stocks. So let's go pop in, we'll take a look at the computer. I'll show you how it all works. Again, my name is Roderick. I'd like to remind you to trade like you mean it. Let's pop on in and see how it happens. Thanks. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at how these trades actually took place and the mechanics of how it all works. So first of all, we are looking at the MNQ. I'll highlight this in the video here. MNQ is the symbol and the March expiration. So it's a symbol that you can get access to on many different trading platforms at most major brokerages. Will give you either delayed or real-time access to this futures data. The MNQ is the micro NASDAQ 100 futures contract, and it trades at 1/10 the size. So it actually trades at only $2 a point, very approachable, 50 cents a tick, $2 a point. Don't worry about the ticks, just $2 a point. Right now, what you're going to be looking at is a recording. I recorded this video only for about 10 minutes, and I recorded it between like 2 minutes prior to 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is when the stock market closes out here on the left coast. That's 4 p.m. Eastern. And like 1:10, all the trades took place in that time. And during that time, Microsoft and Facebook reported, but Tesla had not yet reported. So I did all this within about a 10-minute period of time. And what you'll see here is as the recording starts, the price of this instrument is 9111, if you will. Now every point that it goes up is worth $2. Every point it goes down is worth $2. And the other nice thing about futures is they're very easy to go short or go long. Very, very easy. Extremely liquid. So if you're long and it goes up 10 points, you make $20. If you're short and it goes down 10 points, you make $20, and vice versa, right? If you're long and it goes down 10 points, you're going to lose $20. So that's how it essentially works. And the margin requirements for this are crazy low. Some brokers, it's as little as $50. So all the trades that you see here could have been done with $50 in your account. Now, there are some minimums that some of these brokers have, so I'm not suggesting that you can get started with $50. I'm just telling you the mechanics of how this all works. All right, so in just a moment, what you're going to see is you're going to see me trading actually live. I recorded this, and I'm going to jump between some screens. I have two big monitors, but I can break them up into 8 different screens, and I'll look over I'm waiting for Microsoft to report, I'm waiting for Facebook to report, I'm waiting for Tesla to report. And what you'll see is you'll see how the moment those report, again, this is after the stock market has closed. So very difficult. You can't do any options trading in them after the stock market is closed. And if, again, as I mentioned in the intro, if you're going to try to trade these stocks in the after hours, very expensive stocks, that is kind of the deep end of the pool. However, the futures are derivatives, and it's a perfect proxy that you're going to see. I can actually take trades very easily in the NASDAQ futures. And again, during this unique time period of earnings, the price action in these NASDAQ futures are going to closely reflect what's happening as the earnings come out in these big stocks that make up large percentages of these indices. Whew. All right, that was a lot to get through. Let's go ahead and start the movie, have a good time here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play, and you'll see nothing's going on yet. Nothing's going on. I want to avoid moving forward too fast. Let me just move forward a little bit. As soon as it starts moving, then we'll know an earning is out. Okay. All right. Nothing happening. Oh, starting to move. All right. So I went over and looked at Microsoft, and lo and behold, nothing with Facebook, but Microsoft, nothing with Tesla. Okay, you don't know exactly when these things are going to report. Sometimes it's 1 minute after the bell, sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 5. Apple, which recently reported, doesn't report till 4:30 Eastern. All right, so I saw that Microsoft is out. Okay, so I know that at least one of the earnings is out, and for right now, again, not a lot to go off of here. It's not even close to my 2 levels yet. Right? Nothing happening. So it takes a little while, even in this machine age, for the machines to absorb the earnings and begin to place their bets and move the markets around. You can see it's creeping up a little bit. So remember, from 91.11 to 91.16, that's 5 points. That's about $10 if I had a contract on. I don't have a trade in yet. Keeps going, up. Now it's really moving. Okay, now I need to go over and look what's happening with Mr. Softy. And Mr. Softy's up about 2% or $3.50, tacking on to the almost $3 that it did in the aftermarket. So now it's starting to move. Now, I wasn't resting an order there. I've missed this, right? I'm resting some limit orders away from price, waiting for more extreme moves. Goes up. Okay, still don't have a trade on. We're about 2 minutes in. It's coming down. So if it's coming down, Facebook is out now. All right, it's the battle. It's Mr. Softy versus Facebook and how the NASDAQ futures are going to react to it. So we have Microsoft up nicely, and now Facebook down about $10 or 5%. Okay, so again, I have no options trade on this. I don't own either of these stocks. I could care less which direction they're going in. I'm going to try to express this trade using the NASDAQ futures. So now Facebook, more powerful than Microsoft, starting to drive us down. In fact, if I pause the video for just a moment here, I want to highlight. Let me just grab it right here. I'll grab let me grab the pen so we can see it a little easier, and I can be lazy and not have to do as much post-production work. So that level right there is around 91.30s, maybe a little higher. And remember, we were at 91.11s when we started, and it drove all the way up and then came all the way down. And from 11s to 30, of course, is 19 points. 19 points, let's just round it to 20. 20 times 2 would have been $40. That's the range that we've traveled so far, and actually we're a little lower down here. This is all great and fine, Rod. You haven't done a trade yet. No, I'm watching it, but you're seeing the opportunity that's happening. Okay, we're going to get involved in just a moment here. Keep going. Ooh, now it's getting close to our 90.72s down there. That would be a nice fill. We're getting close. We're about 18 points away. Keep going. And right around here, I'm just going to let the video run because I finally put a buy limit in. I saw something on another chart that said, hey, this is about the bottom of this little cycle as Microsoft and Facebook begin to battle. And this whole time I am watching. There you go. I don't know if you could hear that. You probably could. It should have come through on the mic. So now I'm long a single micro NASDAQ contract. And as it moves around, you can see my P&L. All right, now I don't have a target in there quite yet. I would love if this thing just screamed all the way back up to 91.30 from the area, but I did put a sell stop in there because I saw some sell pressure come in, and boom, now I'm out. Now you didn't see that. That was about $12 right there. Okay, now resting an order again at 90.86.5. In just a moment, I'm going to switch over. So we have $14 in the bank right there, and this is in real time now, so that trade lasted, I think, about 5 seconds, maybe 4 to 5 seconds. So you see how fast these markets are moving, but you still can trade them in an orderly way. Again, this is also after an entire session of trading where the levels for that session have been established in the NASDAQ. So you can kind of work off those levels as well, knowing that the earnings right now are what are pushing them around in the after hours or the extended hour session. All right, so in just a moment, I know I take another trade, comes over here. Okay, that was a buy stop, a little difficult to see. I'll switch over to the other chart in just a moment. Put in a target of what would be about a $16 profit, and I'm pretty sure that this one gets scratched. Okay. All right, now I switch over to a different chart. Don't worry too much about this. In Futures on Fire and in some of my programs, I talk all about how you can get access to these charts and these bars. If you haven't seen them before, they're pretty cool, better trend bars. And this is how I'm going to now manage this particular trade. You can see I'm actually working in order to buy another contract if it dips down to 90.86. And of course, the entire time I'm still watching Facebook, Microsoft, waiting for Tesla's earnings to come out, calling this out in our trade room. There's a lot of people watching this particular trade. So I'm going to put a sell stop in there because I saw some pressure coming in on Facebook again. And I think this one just gets stopped out for a small little profit or basically a scratch. Okay, you can see how fast it's moving.
Order filled.
Okay, so now we're flat one more time. We're going to extend back, and you see, whoops. There's a time where we get back in another one. Sorry, little blip. I moved between screens. So we're long again. That 90.8650 got filled. So again, we have about $24 banked so far. Now I'm going to run a sell stop here and look for a little runner. At this point, this is a riskless trade. I'm just protecting my my gains, and I'm putting this trail stop in here because these are counter trend trades. Actually, you know, Facebook is really starting to push this down, so I want to just catch this little run and run a little tighter and done. Okay, and there was one more trade. Well, I'm not sure there's one more trade. Let me see. No, I don't think there's any more trades. I was still waiting for Tesla's earnings to come out, and they did not. Okay, and I left it by working these same orders of 90.70.50 and 91.55.75. The futures will continue to trade for about 45 minutes. There's a 15-minute period where they're shut down until about 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then they close for an hour, the only hour of the day that they close, and then all this fun starts again at 6 p.m. Excuse me, at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. out here on the left coast. You can get back involved, and even as I'm making this video this evening, the NASDAQ futures are continuing to move all over the place in 20, 30, 40 point ranges. So even though this was a 10-minute period of time, there's plenty of opportunity for the entire evening on days in which large NASDAQ stocks report, which today was certainly one of them. Okay, again, so the takeaways here. Micro NASDAQ futures, $2 a point. Micro NASDAQ futures will reflect the price action of large tech stocks on the days that those tech stocks report. So Amazon will report very soon. Apple has already reported. Then we have Alphabet, which will report at some point. On those days when Amazon and Alphabet, you're going to have similar opportunities as this. Instead of trading a $1,500 stock or a $2,000 stock, whatever Amazon's at these days, you can trade something that trades at $2 a point, knowing that the undulations up and down will closely reflect the way that tech stock is trading in the after hours. Okay, I hope this was helpful. If you'd like to find out more about how you too can get involved in trading futures for daily income, you can hop on over to t3live.com/futures, where I trade every day on a virtual trade floor in front of, well, a lot of people, and I'd like you to be one of them. So check t3live.com/futures. My name is Roderick Casilli. I'd like to remind you to always trade like you mean it. Thanks.